Hi guys, it's Mr. Tristan and welcome to our first recap of Survivor 50. Now I'm sorry this has been taking so long. I keep putting it off because I was so busy with work and I keep forgetting. And by the time I remember, I didn't have the energy to do a video. But I'm tired of waiting, so I'm giving it to you guys right now. Now there's a lot to unpack because this was a 3-hour premiere. So I'm going to try to summarize everything in a short amount of time, but there's really no guarantee. So the episode starts off with this amazing montage of everything that's been going down the past 25 years. With the first episode, when the cast was getting on a boat to get to Borneo, then it showed so many iconic moments, like Eric giving up his individual immunity, and Parvati's double idol play to vote JT out, and a lot of other moments. Then it showed the 24 players getting on what looks like this military boat to go to Fiji. And when they got there, Jeff was waiting for them. So Jeff started going down memory lane, talking to the old school players like Jenna and Coach and Colby. Then he started talking to some of the newer players before breaking into this big monologue where he said that he wanted to see their blood, their sweat, their tears. He wanted to see everything. And so did I. Because this is season 50, a milestone season. I want to see everything. And then we got to the tribe division. There were 3 tribes of 8 people. There was Sila, there was Kalo, there was Vatu. When the tribes were divided, they had their first challenge where the winning tribe would get fire in the form of flint. Now fire was very important in Survivor because without it, you're really not going to do well. So after a big battle between the 3 tribes, Vatu ended up being the tribe to win the flint, but it didn't end there. No. Next, the 3 tribes had to choose one person to get on a boat to do another challenge, kind of like a journey of some sort. And the 3 people going were Ozzy, Coach, and Q. Now, I thought it was really funny that Ozzy and Coach were going on this because the last time we saw them together was in South Pacific when Ozzy kind of ripped Coach a new one for basically voting him out after he promised that he wanted to take him to the end, which was kind of a dumb thing to promise because you don't want to take the best player to the end. But if you promise and then you go back on it just like that, then that's really going to bite you in the butt. So they get to this island where they had to do another challenge to win like their tribe supplies. So they had to do a whole bunch of stuff like digging into the sand, swimming out into the water, and the last thing they had to do was this jailbreak challenge where they tied sticks and twine together and try to reach a key. Now, usually when people do this challenge, there's like a key for like each tribe or each person, something like that. But that wasn't the case. The twist was there was only one key. So we got 3 people fighting for one key. So when the challenge started, Ozzy was smoking everybody. Like Ozzy had a huge lead, but he had a tough time trying to get the key, allowing Coach and Q to kind of catch up. Apparently they've been at it for 45 minutes before Ozzy finally was able to knock the key right off the thing. And by the way, I should mention, they were going at it for so long, at some point, Ozzy was like, Q, if you knock the key off, I promise I'll give it to you. And Coach just stayed completely silent. He didn't say a word, which I would have done the same. I would not say anything. I wouldn't make any deals because I wanted to see if I could do it. So Ozzy knocks the key off the thing, and it's a battle between the 3 of them to get to the key. Coach ended up hooking the key and getting it through and winning the challenge, which made Ozzy very upset because Ozzy ended up going to this big dumb spiel where he thought that Coach was going to play honorably, considering before the challenge they actually had a talk where, they wanted to like squash what happened before and start working together. And Coach was talking about playing honorably, but I guess what happened at the challenge, Ozzy did not see that as honorable. Coach and I, we were talking about sportsmanship, and I was hoping that he would do the right thing, but Coach has proven that he's going to be cutthroat, and his word really means nothing. Shut up. I even saw this on Facebook where people were divided based on like if they think that Coach was playing honorably or he wasn't. Most of the people think that Coach did nothing wrong by getting the key, but they did not like the fact that he said he was going to play honorably and then go for the key. My take on this was Coach was playing the game. Coach was playing the game. He followed the rules of the challenge and he got the key. And also the whole honorable thing, does that really apply in challenges? I don't think so. So I think Ozzy was just being sour like he always is. And I was hoping that Ozzy would be different because I watched this guy complain and I'm like, how old is this guy? I look him up. He's 44. He's 44 and he still acts like a baby. Like he's still complaining. Like, dude, be quiet. You lost. Deal with it. So Coach won the supply, so he got to head back to camp. And Ozzy and Q realized that they were on Exile Island, which I don't even remember the last time they even used Exile Island. But they were there for the whole night, and when morning came, there was a boat coming to them, and before they had to leave, one of them had to give up their vote. The other person gets like an extra vote, and they also had some tribe supplies to take to camp. Q ended up giving his vote, giving Ozzy the extra vote, which, I don't know. I definitely would have tried to negotiate, but I don't know. So now we got to talk about like the tribes. So on the Sela tribe, there was a bunch of stuff going down, but one of the things that shocked me the most was Christian is a father. He was a father. He had a 6-week-old baby at the time of filming Survivor 50. I don't know how old the baby is now. The baby's got to be like a few months old by now. Like, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. It was so beautiful to hear. And speaking of Christian, he has like a bromance going on with Rick Devens, which I love to see. And then what I also saw from Sela was Jenna was trying to rally the troops to go after Suri. And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. It's never a good idea to go after Suri that fast. And people started catching on to it, and they even told Suri about that, which kind of sucks, but that's where it was going down. Oh, I should have started with Kahlo first because that was Coach's tribe, and he got back to camp with the tribe supplies, and everybody was cheering. They were all like, Coach, 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 which I would be too if I was on his tribe. Like, go Coach. So yeah, they were all happy for Coach, and one of the weirdest moments I saw on that camp was Coach apparently had this toe ring that he had been wearing for so many years, and when he took it off, like, it was like kind of bloody, like, ugh. And he put it on Charlie, and I'm just like, if I was Charlie, I don't know if I would be honored to be wearing a toe ring that Coach had worn, or disgusted because of the fact that there was probably going to be a little bit of blood on there. Like, kind of gross. But yeah, that's all I can remember from that camp. And then on Vatu, so Colby started talking about how he was actually getting very annoyed with Rizzo. But then a couple days later, Rizzo changed his mind and he really liked Rizzo. And Rizzo was kind of talking to Colby about how he felt like his dad was talking to him because of Colby's age, I guess. And honestly, I thought that was a very beautiful moment between them. And I love how Rizzo can go from annoying Colby to kind of winning Colby over in a way. Speaking of Colby, he reconnected with Stephanie, which I knew he would. And they also formed an alliance with Genevieve, Kyle, and someone else. Q, I think. I forgot to take notes on the episode, so some things that I say could be off, but I'm just going based on what I can remember. Oh, and another thing that I didn't mention about Sela was Christian made fire using glasses, and he didn't need flint, which is truly amazing. So now we get to the first immunity challenge, which had them doing so many things, and the one thing that was going on that I just could not get over was Suri kept failing to do a certain task, which kind of put her tribe behind when it came to the puzzle, and Sela ended up losing. What also went down in the challenge was there was a part where the tribes had to go up this big ramp, and it was harder when there was one person left because they had to try to run up the ramp and hope their tribe mates would catch them. And Kyle, ooh, when Kyle slid down the ramp, he actually really hurt his foot. And I was just like, oh God, it had to be that bad because he could barely even walk. When the medics checked him out, they initially cleared him and thought that he was going to be okay. They eventually got Kyle up the ramp and they were able to start working on their puzzle. So when the Sela tribe was getting ready for tribal, there were a few names being thrown out. There was Jenna's name, there was Cerie's name, and there was even Ozzy's name. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And when they got to tribal council, one thing that was awesome was when they went to vote, they were actually kind of bringing back the original tribal council music, which I loved. I love when they go back to the originals. So Jenna ends up voting for Cerie like she said she would, but everybody else voted for Jenna, and Jenna ended up being the first person voted out of Survivor 50. Oh, I am sad. I am very sad that Jenna got voted out. I mean, she did kind of have it coming because she was playing too hard, too fast. And as somebody who's a big fan of the show, I know if you play so hard, so fast, you're going to get a target on your back and you're probably going to get voted out very early. I've seen it happen many times. Remember in my last video when I said it would be monumental if Jenna were to win Survivor 50? I said that, and Jenna ends up being the first boot. So yeah, I was definitely very sad for Jenna. But we still had a lot to cover because it was like less than an hour left. So we get to the Vatu tribe, and Stephanie and Genevieve were walking down a beach where they eventually find an idol. They didn't even know if there was going to be an idol because the fans, one of the things that the fans were voting for was idols. I, of course, voted for there to be idols because I love idols. But this wasn't a regular idol. This idol was a Billie Eilish boomerang idol. And I was just like, wait, what? Oh my God. Like, Billie Eilish being a part of this season was crazy. You know, I listen to Billie Eilish in the car whenever a song of hers comes up. So the way the boomerang idol works is when you find it, you have to assign it to somebody else. And the catch is, if they get voted out with that idol in their possession, the idol boomerangs back to you, which I thought is a very interesting twist. So Genevieve was thinking about who to give it to, who would be likely to get voted out with the idol. And she gave it to Ozzy. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But then again, Ozzy's never had the best track record when it comes to idols, considering he got voted out with an idol in his possession at one point. So we'll see how that goes. Genevieve also started talking with Aubrey, who also became a parent before she was on 50. I don't know how long she's been a mother, but I do know, based on her, from watching her video, that she is a mother. But anyway, Genevieve and Aubrey were talking, and Genevieve said, like, you could be kind of dangerous, but I think I would like a little danger on my side. But Aubrey was not feeling the same way. I think Aubrey was just kind of like, you may have fooled other people from your season. You're not going to fool me, sister. And so I don't think Genevieve's going to have Aubrey on her side. We'll see how that goes. And then we get to the last part. There were about 10 minutes left in the episode, so my mom and I knew that there was going to be no challenge and no tribal, but something had to go down. Something always goes down at the end of the episode. And it all had to do with Kyle. So at the Vatu camp, there was a boat coming by with Jeff and Dr. Joe. And at that point, I was like, I think he's out. So Dr. Joe took a look at Kyle again. They did some sort of exercise where they were testing his reflexes with his toes, and they couldn't find anything. And so they ended up making the final call to remove Kyle from the game. That was tough to watch. I mean, I didn't think Kyle was going to last very long, given the fact that he's a winner, but I did not expect him to go out like this. And he doesn't deserve to go out like that. Like, being medevaced is probably the worst thing that can happen to you in Survivor. Like, if I was on Survivor and I had a choice between getting voted out regularly or being sent home because of an injury, I would choose getting voted out 10 out of 10 times. And I even look at his tribe mates as Kyle was delivering the news to them, and they looked so sad. I felt like crying. I didn't, but I felt like it because that was tough to watch. Like, Kyle couldn't really walk, so it makes sense. Like, he had to have some people like actually lift him up and carry him and put him on the boat. That was definitely tough, and I'm curious to know how Joe and Camilla are going to feel when they find out about this, because they know that he got injured. They just didn't know that he got removed. I definitely think that they're going to be sad because he is their friend, but game-wise, they're probably going to be relieved because it makes it a little bit easier for them. And like I said in my last video, Camilla said that she was going to try to distance herself from Kyle. Well, I guess she doesn't really have to do that anymore because he's no longer there. So that does it for our first recap of Survivor 50. Overall, really good episode. So many things that I loved. The only things that I did not love were Jenna getting voted out, Kyle being medevaced, and Ozzy continuing to be sour over anything. I mean, I still think Coach did nothing wrong. Like the whole Coach and Ozzy thing. I was team Coach before, and I'm still team Coach. I'm sorry. I know there's some people that are going to disagree with me. That's normal. You know, people are always going to disagree on anything regarding this show. But yeah, oh, another crazy thing is Savannah told her tribe that she won, which I don't know why she would do that. If I was Savannah, I probably would have lied and said, oh yeah, I did pretty good. I did like maybe runner-up or maybe third place. I wouldn't really say I won because winners do tend to get targeted a lot if they come back on the show. Well, sometimes they do. Other times they don't. Like Sandra when she got her second win. Parvati when she got second place in Heroes and Villains. Tina in Blood versus Water, well, she got voted out in the merge, then came back. You know what I'm talking about. Still, it was a really good episode, and I'm really looking forward to what the season has to offer. I hope you guys enjoy... Well, first of all, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode if you watch Survivor like I do. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.